Alright, this says match each equation to its graph. So you need to know what the basic equations look like. If you go to the front of your packet to where all the formulas are, they tell you all of the formulas for each of the different conic sections. For instance, a circle usually looks like, x squared plus y squared equals r squared. An ellipse is usually x squared over something plus, that's the key thing to look for, y squared over something equals 1. A hyperbola would be x squared over something, or it could be y squared over something minus x squared over something, or y squared over something equals 1. And your parabola is always going to start with y squared or always going to start with x squared. So if we look at the first one, it's the only one here that's a parabola. So if I look at all my pictures, the only parabola that I have is number 3. The next one is the obvious equation of a circle, and it's the only equation of a circle there. So as I look around, I see that the only circle that I have is at number 4. Now the next two are ellipses. You know they're ellipses because they have pluses. And those plus signs mean that I'm going to have an ellipse. And remember, an ellipse looks like a flattened circle. I always say it looks kind of like Stewie's head from Family Guy, or it looks like a football. So if you look here, the biggest number is always our major axis. It tells us where our major axis is. It's always our vertex. So our vertex here is going to be 0 plus or minus 6. So if you look at these, the only one that's an ellipse that has a vertex at 0, 6, and 0, negative 6 is choice number 2. Now the next one, the biggest number is 25. And remember, you take the square root. So that means the vertex is going to be at plus or minus 5, 0. So the only other ellipse that we have is this one that I said looks kind of like Stewie's head from Family Guy. And you see that it's at 5, 0, and negative 5, 0. So choice D is 5. That means that E and F are hyperbolas. Hyperbolas, the first number, not the biggest, but the first number is your vertex. So that means that my vertex here is going to go through 0 plus or minus 4. Remember, a hyperbola are two curves. It's basically like, imagine if I took my ellipse and opened it up and it was going in opposite directions. So the only hyperbola that has the curves going through 0, 4 and 0, negative 4 is at number 1. Meaning that the last answer is going to be number 6. And this means that I should, since that's the first number, have my vertex going through plus or minus 1, 0. And it does. Okay, the vertex is going through 1, 0 here. Making the answer to 49, 3, 4, 2, 5, 1, 6.